every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time to share with you some things that are going on and Stampin' Up news and all that kind of great stuff. And today I'm very excited because last week I didn't have a live because I was traveling to Raleigh, North Carolina for Stampin' Up's on stage event, which is really a convention. And the convention, it consists of only Stampin' Up demonstrators, and it's our way of connecting with each other. We do a lot of recognition of people who've had major accomplishments, and also getting to see the new catalog and sharing ideas and learning about new products. So that said, I wanted to share one of my swap cards today, show you how I made it, and then also share a few of the cards that I received. And I'll keep that going for the next several weeks as I pour through the many swap cards that I came home with. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on my desktop. So let's do that. Okay, so this was my swap card for one of the swaps. Now, there are a couple of ways that you could do swaps at the event. You could make any number of cards all the same and then just swap individually with people as you pass them by. And that's a really fun way to do it. You get to see all different kinds. But I signed up for a couple of organized swaps where this particular swap, I made 15 of this card. And then I got together with a pre-selected, just by signing up, not selected really, group of 14 other women. And then we all just traded cards and came home with one of each of theirs. So this card, kind of funny. This card, I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago, we did this card in a class that I did here, and this was with the Celebration Designer Series paper and the Spring Corners bundle. And what I did is I turned this card into a fun fold card. And to be honest, originally the one I found was a fun fold card that I changed into a regular card, so I'm going back to the original now, but I changed out the Designer Series papers, and look what a difference. It's a whole different card, right? I changed the sentiment, I changed the feel, just the colors being so much brighter. I still love this card, don't get me wrong, but I decided because I loved it so much, I wanted to share something in my swaps that I really loved, and something fun with a little fun fold. So it actually opens like that. So I'm going to share with you today how I made this card. I started with a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock, and this is 11 inches by 4¼ inches, and then I scored it at 3¼ inches, and then, to be honest, what I did is I flipped the paper around and scored it at 2¼ inches. If you look in the notes, it tells you, I believe it's 2¼ inches and 7¾ inches, what it turns out to be. But I like to do it the other way because it makes more sense to me in my brain. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold these in with my bone folder. And that just makes the fun fold. So a lot of times we do gatefold cards like this, usually in the middle. This one would be on the side, but this time we're going to do it vertically. And we're going to take a piece of basic white cardstock, and we're going to add that to the center of the card. Now, we don't have to do that because yellow Daffodil Delight is a light enough color. It's not really necessary, but I like the way that it finishes it off. So then I took 2 different designs of the Designer Series paper called Floral Delight. These can be found in the January to April mini catalog, and thus far, I don't see that it is carrying over. I do love this paper, and I've done, actually, when I did my swap cards, I had a slightly different design, but I ran out, so I guess it was this design more like that, but they all still work, so I am going with this. So this is 2 by 4, and I'm going to put that in the bottom panel, which is, that was at the 2¼ score mark. We'll put that in there, and it fits perfectly. And then, this piece is 3 by 4, And I'll go ahead and put this on the top portion of the card. So pretty. Okay. So here we have our fun fold. So now we're going to work on the front of the card. And for this, I took, sorry, it's right here. I took 2 pieces of, I've got a lot of these here. Oh my goodness, I pre-cut a lot. I'm actually using this card again tonight in my Spring Corners bundle class. Participants purchase the bundle, and then tonight they got a free class where we're going to make 5 cards, and this is one of the cards we're going to make. But this piece here is the one that's going to go on top, and this is 3 inches by 4.5 inches, I believe. Let me just make sure. Yep, 3 by 4.5, and then the Daffodil Delight is just a 1/4 inch bigger, so it's 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And so they're going to go together, but not until we stamp and we die cut. So I went ahead and I actually, because I didn't want to have to get up again, I went ahead. So let's take a look at the bundle. So here's the bundle. These are the dies. So I'm going to be using this beautiful die that is going to cut out that flower in the corner. And I'm going to use, you see how we have a selection of stamps that we can use in the top corner, and I'm using the thank you for everything, so that's right here, but you could use, like I did on the first card, wishing you an amazing day, always in your corner, cute like that. So I'm going to pretend that I'm going to go over to my cut and emboss machine on the other table and just die cut this out of the lower left corner. And you can do this in either order. You can stamp first and then die cut, which is what I'm recommending for my class tonight. Just in case you make a mistake, you can flip the paper over. Or like I did here for the sake of presentation, I die cut first. And now I'm taking my ink pad. I don't know if you're noticing this, but I'm using it upside down. Okay. And I'm inking up my words. And then I'm going to carefully try to put this down straight, even with the camera in my face. There we go. And there it is. So it's as simple as that. You don't have to line up the corner. You could always make up your own sentiments and put them in the corner, but this makes it so much easier because they're already cut appropriately for you. Okay, and then we're going to add this to our mat, and I'm just going to be careful in the corner here. I want to make sure that I got my adhesive in that corner, and of course you could use wet adhesive if that makes you happier. And we're going to put it on there. And then the trick to this card, not really a trick, but we're going to turn this over, and we're going to put adhesive just on the top portion. And because this is a moving card, I'm going to put 3 lines of adhesive at the top only. Now you don't want to have any come down too far because when we lay this on, we don't want it to close up the card. Okay, so basically we're going to just center that on the card front with the card closed, and there we have it. So as I said, you just want to make sure that your adhesive doesn't go past this mark, because otherwise it will seal the card for you, and that's not what you want. And then lastly, I just took some of this gorgeous white, you see that? Look at the texture on there, but this is white 1/4 inch ribbon. Now we could color this if we wanted to with a Stampin' Blends, but I like it just white, especially because there is a lot of white on this card, and I just think it gives it a great look. I tie my knot while it's still on the spool, and I make it nice and tight. And then I use my ribbon scissors to cut it. Anybody who's ever taken a class in my house knows that the scissors with the charms on it, the big giant scissors, are for ribbon only. And you don't want to make a mistake, because I'm mean. I get very mean when it comes to that. And then we're going to take a glue dot. Now I'm just using the glue dots from Paper Pumpkin. They're just easier for me to keep on my desk here. And I'm just laying it down here, and I'm going to take off the backing and then put it down, and there's my little knot. And I'm just going to trim this little extra edge over here. This ribbon does fray pretty easily, So it's just as well that I was able to trim off that little edge. But I just think it's just so pretty. So now I've got to thank you for everything. You could also add gems if you want to, whatever, but I think it looks beautiful just like this. So that was my card. So I made 15 of those, but I swapped them for a bunch of other cards, and I've got, I think, 10 of them here that I wanted to share with you. This one being, I think, the most elaborate out of the group. This is called a box card, and see, it's got 2 boxes. It folds down and flat to go into an envelope, and this is done with, oh dear, I don't know the name of the bundle, but it has all the die cuts, and it's in the January through April mini catalog, and that is also the section in the suite in which this designer series paper is in. And this, I'll just point out too, she used some of the vellum. So there's actually vellum, printed vellum that's on top of white paper that's on top of the old olive. So this is just stunningly gorgeous, and I feel a little bad that my card was way simpler than that. And I even love that she stamped the back side, and this is where you would write your message. And this was Robbie Susan Chandler that did this. So we always identify ourselves in case we have questions on how it was done. So that's card number 1. Next one is from Linda Letcher, and I just think this is so pretty. This is that embossing folder. You've seen me use this, especially recently. I believe it's called Floral 3D embossing folder. And these are the, so I'm looking at my pile because I used this a whole bunch of times recently. Unbounded Love. And they're the dies and the sayings that go with it. She used some of that pretty ribbon and some of the glimmer paper. So really pretty card from Linda. Next up, I love this fold. Now this is using some of that landscape type paper, and we actually have a new selection coming in the new catalog. It's so beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but it needs a lot of, you basically use a full 6x6 sheet in order to make one of these cards. But I love this fold, and perhaps I'll do one with the new paper when it comes in. And this is by Joyce Andrews. And I just love the way that she did that. And of course, I love the colors and the way that see how she combined the twine and made it a many layered bow. So really pretty card. Well done, Joyce. All right. So next up is a fun fold also. She's got the triangle going here. And this is done with the Painted Lavender DSP, and I'm very excited to say that the Painted Lavender DSP is carrying over and is in the new catalog. So this is a favorite. It carried over from last spring, and it is carrying over again into our big catalog for another chance. So this card is done by Lizzie Verdejo, and beautifully done. And the says that these dies are from Charming Duck Pond. So I didn't realize that. So anyway, she listed what she used there. Okay, next up is a cutesy one. I never go for these cutesy sets, but I was standing next to the woman who made this. Her name is Gigi Bell, and she was a lovely lady. And I just thought, it's good to have some kid cards in your collection, right? And on the inside, so this says war means happy birthday in dinosaur. And hope your birthday is dynamite. So very cute. First thing I said to her is, whoa, that's a lot of coloring. That's a lot of coloring if you're going to do 15 of those. So she did a good job, and she was a lovely lady. Next up, we have another one of the butterfly cards, and this is one of those bookbind cards, and this is done by Laura Oakley, as you can see. So done with the butterflies and the in-color ribbon, and just very basic but very pretty card. Can't go wrong with that. Next up is, look how pretty this is, with the little bird coming out of the birdhouse. This designer series paper in the background is carrying over as well. So I was very excited to see that. I haven't memorized the new catalog, so I can't tell you all the different things that are coming. And of course, I can't show you yet, but when they're available, I will be sure to get a catalog out to you. And this card was done by Jackie Tillman. And I just love how she has the little birdie coming out. So something else you can do with that. And of course, we've got our sand dollar card. You can't go wrong with sand dollars. Just beautiful. I wouldn't have thought to use the grays in the background, and it looks like that might be vellum there. So I just really like the look of that card. And this is by Candy Glade. So actually, what I liked most was Candy's sticker. This is a sticker she had printed, so I might have to contact her and find out where those are from, because I thought those were really pretty. And next we have some of that beautiful birthday, wildflower birthday paper. This is by Elizabeth Mayans, it looks like. And she embossed the Let's Celebrate here, and she used some of the coordinating gems. Very pretty card, very basic, but you know what? You don't have to go nuts. And I love that she decorated the inside of the card as well. So anyway, that is that beautiful card. And finally, I have this fun fold card. Usually when I do a card like this, I do it vertically, and I actually have the top and bottom parts thicker. And I love that she did it this way. This is Anne Oshiro. Now, I probably would put a piece on the inside for writing on that would get covered by this, but I thought this was very clever and a little twist on something that we usually do. So that's a bunch of the cards that I received for my swap, and I have a bunch more that I still have to go through. I'm still sorting through everything and trying to put things away, etc. But I will be sure to be back next week with some more ideas and some more projects, and I can't wait to show you what else I've got. In addition, I have an upcoming class. I have my Zoom card class, which is next Tuesday, and there's probably just enough time to mail out a kit if you still would like one. I do have a few left, and that class again is Tuesday, but you also get a PDF tutorial, so you can do the projects on your own. You get all the supplies. It's only $15 plus $4 shipping, US only though, sorry. But if you're interested in that, please be sure to let me know as soon as possible so that I can get that out to you. But other than that, I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.